You made Diamond K in here, of course. RadioFire.com, the DiamondKShow.com. Radio Fire is a listener-supported internet talk radio and podcast network streaming from our production facilities in Baltimore, Maryland, and Atlanta, Georgia. And we're able to broadcast programs like this show, the Diamond K Show, because of our listeners and some amazing partners, which I will get into a little bit later. So today is a special day as it relates to this journey we've been on as far as the election, 2020 election. Long lines greeted voters on this first day of early voting in Maryland. According to the Maryland State Board of Elections, polls opened at 7 a.m. and will close at 8 p.m. So you definitely have time to do that. As of last week, the board reported that it received more than 95,000 ballots from voters in Baltimore County. And early voting starting today. Some who've had issues are planning to go in person to vote. And that's good. I think that is good. According to the State Board of Elections, if you requested or have received a mail-in ballot and want to vote early, the state says that you can do so, but it will take longer since you have to cast a provisional ballot. So there's a lot. People are excited for this early voting, this in-person voting, which began in Maryland today. So a lot of people having different experiences for this. This in-person early voting, which started today, is going to run for 8 consecutive days, including Saturday and Sunday. First early voters began to line up before dawn in Silver Spring, the Civic Center in Silver Spring and elsewhere. This is a pivotal election. It's important to recognize the massive level of sacrifices that have been made by African Americans for the right to vote. Massive sacrifices. So when I see people talking about it's not important to vote, they don't want to vote because they don't like some of the candidates or some other kind of foolishness, completely disregarding the down ballot elections, just the important things that are on election. I hear idiots like Boyce Watkins talking about not voting. And this is a supposed to be doctor, all right? Allegedly smart people are saying they shouldn't vote. This is part of the propaganda that has been used against our people. As I said, early voting centers are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. When I hear about Ice Cube, some of the things that he's... Ice Cube was on Fox News yesterday talking about his controversy, saying that he doesn't know who he's going to vote for. The ice has melted with Ice Cube. And it's actually sad to see. But we cannot get sidetracked with entertainers who are misled, lack focus, or unintelligent, or selfish and strictly thinking about money that they have, that they're concerned about being taxed. Of course, 50 Cent comes to mind, and others. There are other rappers that are further down the food chain that support Trump and do so strictly on a basis of celebrity, because he was, famous before he was president. Washington, D.C. will open 32 early voting centers starting tomorrow. Residents can vote in the district at any voting center and are not limited to using one near their home. Same-day voter registration is allowed in the district. Residents just need valid proof of residence. Nearly 100 voting centers will be open on Election Day, and that is in D.C. So make it your point. Been texting so many people I haven't talked to in a long time. Do you have a plan to vote? Is this something that is on your radar? If not, why? If not, why is it not on your radar? Needs to be on your radar. Super important. And it's not only about the presidential election. Down ballot, local elections are very important. And for wherever you live, the local elections are super important. Do not fall for the okie doke and thinking that this election is just about Trump and Biden. There's so much more on the ballot. Now, those things are important, but I don't want you to get confused as to thinking that that's all on the ballot. So if you don't like Trump, you don't like Biden, you don't need to vote. No, that is not true. It's not accurate. Not accurate. Just tuning in, it's your man Diamond K, The Diamond K Show, RadioFire.com, TheDiamondKShow.com. Also on social media at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. I got an interesting email today, and I want to read it. It says that today I casted my vote. I expected long lines, no problem. The 2-hour and 40-minute wait was worth it. Me being the 240th person in line at Morgan State University. I had the opportunity to see many coming out from seniors, parents, and babies, children, and many people with disabilities. I believe there should have been better accommodations for seniors with walkers, wheelchairs, and even those that brought the babies in their arms or strollers. Just food for thought. Your vote is your voice. And so that is coming from someone who voted in Baltimore at Morgan State University. Got that email, and thank you for sharing that. So people are expecting lines, and there may be lines. So be prepared for that when you talk about what is your election plan. These are some of the things that we're talking about. Are you prepared to stand in line? Because you should be. It's that important. You can stand in line for Jordans. You can stand in line on Mother's Day. You stand in line pre-pandemic. Stood in line to get a table on Mother's Day. Right? Oh, those lines were crazy on Mother's Day, waiting for a table. Even on a regular day, if you want to go somewhere to eat, Sunday afternoon after the church crowd comes through, you're going to wait, right? So you can wait for this. You can wait for this, and it is very important that you do wait. It's very important. However you vote, whatever your whatever side of the fence that you fall on, whatever your proclivity may be. So many early voting center locations have changed. With senior centers and privately owned buildings replaced by empty schools to protect health, many cases. Local election directors decided on what safety measures to utilize. But socially distanced lines, plastic glass shields, and frequent sanitizing of equipment are expected. These are some of the things that are going to slow things down. But it is for your safety that these things happen. It is for your safety that these things are occurring. So Maryland has allowed early in-person voting since 2010. but it was not offered during the June primary due to the pandemic. However, things have changed. More than 1.6 million Maryland residents already requested mail-in ballots by a deadline earlier this month. More than 45% of those people have returned them. Things are moving along. Things are moving along. On the ballot, you will find the presidential race, congressional seats, and 2 statewide questions on amending the state constitution. Baltimore voters will also make choices for mayor, city council, and city council president. It is super important. Find out. If you don't understand what's on there, you have time to look. You have time to look. This is a sample ballot here. Sample ballot. Okay. Right. And, so on the sample ballot, it has, early voting locations. It tells you how simple. You see that? Tells you how simple it is to vote. Right? It also has questions that are on the ballot. Right? Questions that are on this ballot. So everyone needs to participate. This is something that has to happen. Anyone who missed the advanced voter registration deadline can participate in same-day registration at early voting or election day vote centers. To do so, you need to bring your driver's license, ID card, change of address card, a paycheck, bank statement, utility bill, or government document that includes your name and your new address. Marylanders. Early voting centers and election day vote centers will be following approved health guidelines. Voters must wear masks and maintain distance of at least 6 feet. You know what I mean? 6 feet. You've been doing that. We can do that. This is not that hard. This is something that we can do. So what we are going to do now, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with more of the show after this.